Hi, and welcome back to my part 2 video on my quick trip to Moscow. Part 1 ended with the promise of something really nice about to happen to me. Of course, this was just a trick to get you to anticipate part 2. Well, I did have a couple of really nice donuts, plus the use of a really nice and clean bathroom, so maybe this qualifies? Well, anyhow, I'm going to go get myself a nice cup of coffee before I start editing this all together. So why don't you join me? So I was in America with all the great Russian food and great other types of food around. Where do I stop for a little snack? But Krispy Kreme. I've actually had Krispy Kreme more in Russia than I ever had it in America. I'm a Dunkin' Donuts fan. So yes, I just stopped in for a quick couple of donuts. This is Krispy Kreme, by the way, in Cyrillic. I just stopped here. Donuts were quite good. I certainly had them more here in Russia than I had back in America. Very nice, clean bathroom. I know it seems kind of weird to talk about, but it's important when you're traveling in a different city. Over here we have another Russian chain called Shokoladnitsa. It's all over the place, all over different cities in Russia. Coffee shop, food, nice pastries. You can even get you can get burgers and stuff at some of them, I know that. I'll probably eat at one of those today when my daughter finishes her Olympiad. Again, we're just walking again up that same shopping street, just a different part of it. We have lots of cafes. Of course, Starbucks, which, I'm sorry, I'm not a fan. I don't like Starbucks. I never frequent them. Well, I hope you're enjoying this part of the video so far. As I said, very unplanned, very unscripted, but I've got time to kill. I thought I'd bring you along with me to see what I did while I was killing my time. So again, we're looking at that shopping street. Now it's behind me, although I've got more of it coming up. If it's worth shooting, I'll shoot some more. And here we're on another really famous shopping street, although this isn't a pedestrian street at all. This is called Verskaya. It's a Verskaya street. It's quite long, lots of shops and famous buildings along the length of the road. I come up here for many different reasons. Actually, in that place right across the street, I bought parts for my Weber grill that I couldn't get anywhere else. Across the street, you zoom in a little bit, is a building that says Telegraph. And over here on while I'm filming this. It has a really cool old Soviet-type symbol on it. Kind of it's got snow on it right now, but kind of raised from the building. Now in Moscow, the center of Moscow is Red Square, and the closer you are to Red Square, the more expensive things are. For example, here's a hotel, a very famous name. Let's see if you can read that. Maybe I'll zoom in a little bit. The Ritz-Carlton, in Russian, Ritz-Carlton, Moscow. So I think this would be one of the more expensive hotels here. I mean, just look at the cars that are out here. I drive a Kia. No Kias here. Very nice architecture though. And here, sorry about the bright sun, but here we can see we're at the Kremlin. Kremlin is really what we're speaking about, is the wall that surrounds it. Each of the different towers along the way. And in the background, I think you can see the Kremlin bell tower that you saw in an earlier episode, striking midnight on New Year's Eve, very famous. Today we're not going to go walking around there. Unfortunately, I don't have the time to do that today. Anyhow, different time. Okay, I've finished with my little journey around Moscow, while I also happened to kill about 4 hours, so that's cool. Now, the Moscow Metro is one of the best I've been on. Modern, clean, and little worry about crime. Also, very easy to figure out how to navigate. Okay, there's really nothing special about this particular metro station. This is just one, well, this is the one I got off on because my daughter has a competition here. It's something I want to show you that it is kind of interesting. Like, well, many other places I imagine too, they have the clock. So it says it's been 36 seconds since the last train went by. And look at this already. Now 36 seconds is pretty quick. Usually one or 2 minutes, but no more. So of course it's nice, you can see how long it's been since the last train left. And if you know that it's, depending on the time of day, it's usually 1 minute during rush hour, 2 minutes other times of the day, you know how long you're going to have to wait. Something I just like about metro tunnels is you feel the like the wind against your face as the train pushes air from the tunnel towards you. Here we can see light coming down the tunnel. 1 minute and 45 seconds since the last train left. I'm going to jump over a lot of stuff now. I picked up my daughter after her competition. The results will be known in about 35 days. Last year, though, she was a winner. We went by taxi to our hotel where we had dinner in one of the several restaurants. We slept, had breakfast the next morning before heading to the train station for our journey home. Train stations, especially the waiting areas, have improved a lot over the past 20 years here in Russia. Here the seats are made of wood, but very comfortable due to the shape. They're all new. And beneath each armrest is an outlet to charge your electronics. Nice. I've been retired now for 3 years, although the first year or so I was still doing work for a major British university, which involved me traveling about 6 times a year throughout Central Asia, for about a week at a time actually. On my last trip I returned as all of the world's borders were closing in April of 2020. This trip here to Moscow was my first time leaving my city since April 2020. Due to either lockdowns or travel restrictions. You know, I feel rather cheated out of the early years of my retirement. It pisses me off.
Oh my God, it looks so disgusting.
What?
The sheets. It's just the worst thing I have ever seen in my entire life.
The top sheet? Well, lucky it's just the top sheet.
It's the blanket case. So it's the thicker one.
Okay, well then don't use it.
Ugh.
It's not like you're sleeping overnight anyhow. You don't really need it.
I know, but maybe we can switch it.
No. No, I'm not switching it. Thank you. Yeah,
Fine.
Give me the disgusting one.
No, it's disgusting.
What do I look like? A friggin' idiot?
It's disgusting for me. You know how I am.
Yeah, well, if it's disgusting for you, then it's disgusting enough for me, too. It's too disgusting for you. You think it's what? Good enough for me? God, you're nuts. Good. You think highly of me. Oh, it's really disgusting. Let's give it to my dad.
Well, I mean, you yourself.
Okay, this is inside of our coupe on the train on the way back, which is a little bit newer than the one that we went to Moscow in. although that one was also not old. But here's something new, which I've actually never seen before. There are 4 different safes, one for each of the passengers. Obviously, you set your own combination, and which is very cool because it used to be, I know myself, traveling many times, just me alone, 3 strangers. You didn't like to just leave the train at a stop and go get something to eat or drink, because it meant either your money or your luggage or your valuables are still in your coupe. So now they've eliminated that problem. That's kind of nice. So not much else I can show you really. Most everything else is the same. Right now it's kind of a mess. My daughter and I, our food on the way back was all fast food. Now here's something you don't see often. Probably most people don't want to see it. This is the inside a toilet in a newer Russian train. So toilet, chemical toilet, like in an aircraft. But here's something really cool that people could just dream of years ago, and that is showers. Yes, now Russian trains have showers, which is, as I said a few years ago, was something unheard of, even undreamt. But there you go. Very much like an aircraft bathroom. A little bigger, I guess. Well, certainly with the shower it's bigger, but even without the shower it's bigger. But pretty high tech. Like, where's the faucet? That's just a soap thing. Well, just put your hand there, and out it comes from a hole up above you somewhere. So, pretty cool. And, by the way, relatively clean, too. This train has already been traveling about 4 or 5 hours from Moscow. And it's seen a lot of use, I'm sure. But again, shower, that's very cool.
Time is it?
Well, thanks for coming along with me on my semi-business trip. Very little was planned, but you did have the ability to see things, at least see them how I saw them at the same time as I did. Please subscribe and be notified whenever I release a new video. And also, if you like the video, please hit like. It helps me out. Thank you.